Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here on YOUCANIC we got a Honda Fit, a 2011. On this Honda Fit we're going to go ahead and replace the Serpentine belt and the tensioner. This has got 120,000 miles or so. It's over 100,000 miles, so I feel the need to just go ahead and replace that tensioner at the same time as replacing the Serpentine belt. This has got some rust and wear on it, so we're going to go ahead and replace both of those. We're going to see if we can do most. Looks like we should be able to do most of it from the top. If not, you just have to move the left side tire or the right side tire, which is your passenger side tire, and jack up the car. And also there's a plastic shield cover down under there that we'd have to remove. If we have to, we'll get to that. But first you got to start with a 19 millimeter. There's a bolt down there. I'll show you when I pull it completely out. But there's looks like a bolt head. It's just a blank. But that's where you got to put a 19 millimeter wrench on it to be able to get the tension off. So once you've pulled the tension up, you've put that on there. You pulled it up. It goes to a max. There's no more you can do. Then you got to just get this belt to come off. Okay, so the belt's off. Now we just let that tensioner down. Nice and easy. We don't need to just drop it. So the tension's been relieved. The belt has been removed. And you can see this belt's not horrible, but it definitely has got some wear on the back here with some cracks there. But we're going to go ahead and replace all that. And now the tensioner, to get that off, there's two size 12 bolts on the tensioner that need to be loosened and removed. And it's in a tight spot because it's right behind the motor mount. So we got the top one out, another one on the back here. All right, with those two bolts removed, you can just pull the tensioner out. Here's our tensioner. There's a spring inside here. Also you've got bearings inside here that can go bad, but there's a spring, big huge spring mechanism in here, and that will wear out over time. And what it does is, as it's sitting there, it constantly will adjust as the belt's going around to keep your belt tight and tensioned on your pulleys there, so that you don't get any slipping. So depending on how many miles you're on your car, if the belt looks really worn, it's not such a bad idea to just go ahead and replace this all. So we've got our new tensioner. So now just going to ease that back down in there and put the bolts back in and tighten them up. It's a lot of filling around down once you get it down in there. Alright, so once you got everything good and tight, then we get our belt. Alright, so back to this Honda Fit. So with that shield pulled down, you can now see the access of all the pulleys. So we need to go on the top side of this pulley here. This is your crank pulley. This is the AC pulley. Then we've got the water pump pulley that we go on the back side, the smooth side, right? No grooves into it. And then we got to go on the top side of the alternator. Okay, so we've got the belt all wrapped around. This pulley goes around this way, right? And then it's going to be held by the tension on the top here, and then around this pulley, and then on the smooth side of the water pump here is where that goes, right? And so then on top here, go up there real fast. So I've got my leverage bar, and what I did is I got them wrapped around those pulleys down there, and we still had to get around the alternator pulley. So I got it on the bottom of the alternator pulley and then just rotated the pulley itself to be able to walk it around on there. So now that the belt's on there, you're going to make sure that all of the teeth or the ribs of the belt are in the groove that they need to be. And then you just ease the tensioner pulley back off so that it puts that tension on there. And get your wrench out of there somehow. And that's how you replace your tensioner and serpentine belt on your Honda Fit. Last thing, just go ahead and button up, putting the shield back up on and the tire back on, torque it to spec, and you're good to go. Start it, run it, make sure that the belt doesn't fly off, and then you should be good to go for quite a few miles. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.